In white it's Joe Screen, next to him in the blue helmet colours from the USA, Sam Ermolenko. Gate 3 in red, Tony Ricardson. On the outside it's Hans Nielsen. As the tapes about to go up in heat number 1. Away we go to the first bend, and first man there is Hans Nielsen. Almighty pile up though on that first bend, out of the action on screen. An almighty pile up involving the two riders in blue there. Tragedy for Sam Ermolenko, the world champion, and alongside him in red, Tony Ricardson. An almighty pile up on the first bend. Oh dear, what a start to the meeting. Let's watch it again.
Yes, Rickarson's coming down hard on Ermolenko. He gets a bang, he clips the back of Nielsen, and over he goes, and there's the two of them laid out. What a terrible crash to start the meeting.
Well, there's Tony Ricardson up on his feet, clearly shaken, and a nasty crash on the first bend of the first heat. Hardly what we wanted, but the referee says all 4 for the rerun. This is the restart of heat number 1. Away from the gate, Hans Nielsen gets into the bend first, a bit safer this time, but Nielsen is out front. Trailing him is Joe Screen from England, and processional form with Sam Ermolenko from the USA in third place, and bringing up the rear, the shaken Tony Ricardson of Sweden. But Hans Nielsen with a lap gone is in front. Nielsen ahead of Joe Screen in second place. Sam Ermolenko, maybe he suffered a bit in that fall. He's not as fast as usual, and he's in third place. This extremely processional heat number 1. Nielsen, Screen, Ermolenko, Ricardson, with just over 1.5 laps to go. And this surely, with no mistakes, is how it will finish, and will give the Danes a tremendous start. But Hans Nielsen is the man out there in front. Nielsen leading from the 21-year-old from Bellevue, Joe Screen, into lap 4. In third place, Sam Ermolenko, and bringing up the rear, Tony Ricardson. But this looks like the Nielsen all the way. The 3 times world champion leading the field and taking the checkered flag on his home track. Hans Nielsen ahead of Joe Screen, and in third place was Sam Ermolenko. Early revenge then for Nielsen, giving the Danes a great start as they stormed through all 4 of the opening heats, taking maximum points to leave everyone else trailing, with Sweden bottom of the pile. Ermolenko wasn't to be denied for long. By winning heat 6 ahead of the Dane Tommy Knudsen, he began a spirited revival by the Americans. The world champion himself showing the sort of form that won him his cherished title in Pocky. With 12 heats gone, the battle was on. The gap between Denmark and the USA just 5 points. England were trailing. Their riders were now complaining the track hadn't been prepared to suit their style. Danish concern started to show as the American Greg Hancock won heat 13, but Knudsen took the next before Danish skipper Nielsen faced the USA reserve Josh Larsen in heat 15. So there we are, Hans Nielsen, the vital for him. He's going to battle with Josh Larsen as they go away from the tape. Who makes it? Yes, Hans Nielsen gets the drop just where it counts. And out front is the main Dane, Hans Nielsen. But here comes Josh Larsen to take up second place. The challenge coming through on the inside from Peter Carlsen, and going wide and disappointingly trailing at the back, Gary Havelock. But Hans Nielsen is out front for Denmark. Hans Nielsen leads the way for the American Josh Larsen. Hans Nielsen is fast, he's precise, he's wheel perfect, and he's showing the style that gave him those 3 world titles. A shade unlucky in Pocking a few weeks ago, but Hans Nielsen here is showing the form that's made him arguably the best rider in the world for a long while. Hans Nielsen is out front of Josh Larsen with just over a lap to go. It's Nielsen from Larsen, third place held by Peter Carlsen, the Swede, and bringing up the rear is Gary Havelock of England. But Hans Nielsen here looks set to win this one with just half a lap to go. The Dane is in front of the American reserve Josh Larsen. In third place coming up now is Peter Carlsen, but Hans Nielsen's going to win this one. Nielsen wins it in first place, Larsen second, and third place there taken by the Swede Peter Carlsen. Hans Nielsen, 4 wins from 4 rides here this afternoon. But it was Sam Ermolenko that went way out in front again in heat 16. But there was a crucial slip by Denmark's Brian Karger in the yellow and black helmet colours. He failed to notice the Swede coming through inside him and dropped a vital point behind Per Jonsson. This hit Denmark's hopes. With 4 heats left, the gap was now 3. England had failed to add to their score. Sweden had done better, but it was clearly a 2-horse race. It was going to be either Denmark or USA for the World Team Cup. The Danes had led throughout, but the Americans had done anything but give up.
So there we are, from the inside, Henrik Gustafsson. Next to him in blue, that's Josh Larson. Gate 3 in white, Kelvin Tatum on the outside. Brian Carger as the tapes go up, and who makes it? Larson, vital from the Gate 2 position. Larson takes it up, and the Dane is at the back. It's Brian Carger. The meeting is now wide open as heat number 17 opens out in front of you with the American reserve Josh Larson from Marina Essex in front. Kelvin Tatum chasing him in second place. Third place belongs to Henrik Gustafsson from Sweden. This will make it all level if it stays like this. But Josh Larson is out front. Ron Carger is at the back. It doesn't really matter what happens between them. But at the moment, Kelvin Tatum and Henrik Gustafsson are keeping the Dane at bay. And Josh Larson is going to make it perhaps a day for the Stars and Stripes here at Coventry this afternoon, with just over a lap to go in this heat 17. 3 more races after this, but Josh Larson is out front. The young man who rides for Arena Essex, the Californian, is flying at the moment. Josh Larson down the back straight. He's going to take the checkered flag ahead of Henrik Gustafsson in red from Sweden. Third place is going to go to Kelvin Tatum. But now it's all level here with a marvellous win for the young American Josh Larson. Away from the tapes we go. Hancock holds it on the inside. Jorgensen comes wide from gate number 3. Havelock gets the grip and takes the lead down the back straight. Gary Havelock is in front. In second place is the American Greg Hancock. A good race this, coming through on the outside. Peter Carlson to take second place. And the 2 main nations now are in third and fourth place as Gary Havelock leads out front, showing the sort of form we've been looking for earlier from the young man from Bradford, the world champion from 1992. And he's going to go into lap number 3 in front here of Peter Carlson from Sweden. Greg Hancock has to make ground. Greg Hancock's in third place, but if he can hold off John Jorgensen, then Hancock has a chance of keeping the Americans in front with 2 heats to go. Hancock's battling in third place, but as we go into the final lap, the battle out front is between Gary Havelock of England, but now coming through is Greg Hancock from the USA, moving into second place on the inside of Peter Carlson. Points are vital here. Gary Havelock is out front. The battle in second place goes to the USA. The heat won by Gary Havelock. Second place to Greg Hancock of the USA, and third place to John Jorgensen of Denmark. It means the Americans are now 2 points in front. In blue though, Billy Hamill. In red for Sweden, Per Jonsson. In yellow and black, it's Tommy Knudsen on the inside. It's Chris Louis, the English reserve now, and it's Louis into the first bend first. And when Gary Havelock did that before, we wondered just what had happened to the Englishman, but here is Chris Louis out front for England. Louis heads Knudsen. Louis ahead of Knudsen, the American back in third place. And it's going to tighten up here, because if the Danes finish in front of the Americans, who knows what can happen in the final of what could be explosive heat 20. But there goes Knudsen round the outside. Knudsen is going to take the lead here, going round the outside of Chris Louis. Louis holding him off with 2 laps to go. Louis takes him wide. Knudsen comes again with a grip on the outside, down the back straight. Louis closes the gap. Knudsen goes for a gap that hardly exists. Louis picks it up again on the inside. This is some race. Louis inside of Knudsen. Knudsen on the outside, picks up the grip and goes away down the back straight. The checkered flag is waiting. The Dane Knudsen is going to get it after a fabulous ride here for Tommy Knudsen. Knudsen takes this ahead of Chris Louis. Third place to the American Billy Hamill, and that means now it's all level going into heat 20, with that one going to Tommy Knudsen ahead of Chris Louis.
This is so tight now, I can't believe it. I mean, we had a big lead after a few races, but the Yanks caught up with us, and it's all last heat decider now. I just keep my fingers crossed that Hans can make the gate out there.
It's Hans Nielsen in gate number 1, it's Sam Ermolenko in gate 3. They're the ones that really count. What a heat, what a finale to the final ever World Team Cup. Here we go, waiting for the tapes to go up. Ermolenko's bike is roaring. Nielsen makes it for the inside. Ermolenko roars into the first bend. Ermolenko and Nielsen are neck and neck. It's Ermolenko by a bike length from Nielsen, who lifts down the back straight. Going round the outside is Joe Screen in white, but there is Sam Ermolenko. Joe Screen's machine is packed up at the back, but Sam Ermolenko is out front of Hans Nielsen. Nielsen's had it all to do. He's got a long chase here to catch up with Sam Ermolenko. Ermolenko is in front. Ermolenko is in front. Nielsen is now back in third place with 2 laps to go. Sam Ermolenko is going to win this for the USA if he keeps going. Hans Nielsen is back in third. Tony Ricardson is second. But it's really about the man in front, the world champion just a few weeks back in Pocking, and now he's going to win another title for his country. As Sam Ermolenko goes into the final lap in front. Sam Ermolenko leads now by some 20 yards from Tony Ricardson with Hans Nielsen at the back. It's stars and stripes forever here. The flags are waving. The wheelie completes the final lap for Sam Ermolenko ahead of Tony Ricardson and Hans Nielsen. It gives the title to the Americans. They're a joyful bunch here this afternoon. Sam Ermolenko celebrating as he did in Pocking a few weeks back. Sam Ermolenko takes that. A marvellous afternoon for him, reeling off 4 heat victories in succession. And down by the pits gate, the riders are waiting to greet their number one, Sam Ermolenko. The rest of the American party is there. Sam is waving to the fans. The Americans have won the World Team Cup. They've retained the trophy they won last year. And there is Sam Ermolenko being greeted by his teammates and being thrown in the air in celebrations. What a day it is here at Coventry for the Americans. They win the World Team Cup ahead of Denmark in second place. Disappointment for them in that race with Hans Nielsen back in third place.